Hello, welcome to this week's assembly with me, Mr. Jones, one of the assistant principals at SBL Academy. It's an absolute pleasure to be speaking to you today. I have to say I've never delivered an assembly staring at a computer in shorts and a t-shirt before, but we'll see how we go. And this week I'm going to be talking to you about being the best version of you and what that means. I'm also later on going to be talking about an exciting student leadership opportunity for the current Year 10s. So please make sure you stay tuned to the end. Okay, so what do we mean by being the best version of you? Well, there's three aspects to this, I think, three things I'd like to talk about. The first of which is trying your best in everything that you do. Secondly, looking after yourself and looking after others, I think particularly important at this time. And finally, trying new things and looking to improve throughout all of our lives. So in terms of trying your best, I mean this in all aspects of life, but I think particularly important at this time with your regards to your education. Now, as you know, your teachers are continuing to work hard, providing online lessons for all of you. And it's really important that you try your best with this work. And if at any stage you're finding something difficult or you're not sure what to do, you make sure that you contact your teachers. There's a picture here of some of our students continuing their education in school. Learning about the science of flight with our very own Mr. Woodard, all appropriately socially distanced, as you'll see, of course. Secondly, and I think really important at this current time, is that we look after ourselves and look after each other. And that's certainly a big aspect of being the best version of you. In terms of looking after yourself, and by this I mean finding ways to de-stress, whether that be exercise or reading or taking up new hobbies, maybe even taking up a musical instrument, finding time to look after yourself and your own mental well-being. In terms of looking after others as well, we're particularly proud of two of our DT teachers, Miss Shand and Miss Johnson, who throughout the lockdown have been busy making scrub bags and headbands for local healthcare professionals to use. A really productive and helpful way to spend some of their time in the lockdown. Absolutely amazing work. I know you will all have heard as well of the incredible story of Captain Tom, Colonel Tom I should say, who raised over £30 million for the NHS, walking up and down his garden, certainly being the best version of himself and a real inspiration to the rest of us. So with regards to the final point here, trying new things and looking to improve, I've got a short video clip I'd like to share with you now. It's a video of Robin van Persie, who's a professional footballer, or ex-professional footballer I should say, and he's talking about his son and a conversation with his son that he had about improving. Now his son is an academy footballer aspiring to be one of the best footballers in the world. We're not all aspiring to be the best in the world at something, but a really powerful message nonetheless, I think.
I actually had this chat last week, funny enough, seriously, with my son. So my son plays at Feyenoord. He played against Ajax under 14. He was on the bench. He didn't play. So in the car on the way back, he was like a bit moody, disappointed, complaining a little bit about others, about the coach, etc. And then I said, yeah. I said, but Shaquille, I said, you sound like a loser, you know, if you talk like this in a way, you sound like you lost. I said, you are blaming him, you're blaming her, you're blaming this, you're blaming everything. I said, but I don't hear one single thing about yourself. I said, winners, I said, they take control and they blame themselves and they look where they can improve, yeah? And this is what you should be thinking about. So I didn't tell him what he should think about. You should ask yourself the question, are you a loser or are you a winner? I said, for me, it doesn't matter. I said, because I'm your dad. I said, the only job I have and your mom has is when you're 20, that you're a good boy, that you're ready for life. You know, you can make your mistakes, you can do what you want. I love you for the same amount. It doesn't matter for me if you make it as a football player or not. I said, but you say that this is your passion. So you should take control of your life and stop complaining, because sounds like a loser. I said, and I don't mind. If you want to be a loser, be a loser. I still love you as much. I said, it doesn't matter for me. I said, but if you want to be a winner, take control of your life and stop complaining about others. And then I watched him train the next morning. My wife said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to watch this session. 2 days later, actually, because they played on Saturday and Monday morning. So I'm there sitting, cold, hoodie on. I'm looking and I see this tiger training, running, working. And I was like, okay. He realized he has to take control of his life. He's 13 now.
So in some ways, I think it might sound a bit harsh what he's saying to his son there, but as he said, it's a message delivered with real love, and a message with his best interests at heart, and a message of how best to improve himself, which is to look within and to look at what he can do differently rather than looking at others. As I said before, we're not all aspiring to be the best in the world at something, and I would also say that at this time I think it's really important that we're not too hard on ourselves, we don't put too much pressure on ourselves, but still I think a really important message of self-improvement. So I'm going to be moving on now. I'm going to talk about student leadership at SBL Academy and some exciting opportunities that are going to be coming up. As you all know, this year we've had an amazing team of Year 11 student principals and vice principals, supported by a team of prefects, and they have led the Student Council, which has been a collection of representatives from every tutor group across the school. So the student leadership team this year have achieved an absolutely huge amount. They played an important role in the installation of the new water fountains and the distribution of water bottles to all students. They have long been advocates of new toilets and the open plan toilets, which we managed to install, as well as the outdoor seating, which we were in great need of. They've led the Student Council, as I said, and they made absolutely fantastic presentations at our open evening. Throughout the year, they've been representatives of all SBL students, and they've represented SBL in the community. They've helped at various community events. I'm really proud of them, and I wish them all the best as they move on to the next stage of their education. What we're going to do now, and in the coming days and weeks, is look to elect our student leadership team for next year. So as I said before, this is an opportunity for the current Year 10s to put themselves forward to be student principals, vice principals, prefects, and then they will lead the Student Council next year. That Student Council will then provide leadership opportunities for students in every year group. In terms of how to apply, Year 10s moving into Year 11 should send a short letter of application to the email address at the bottom of the screen there by Friday the 5th of June. And the letter should simply include why you'd like to be involved, what you think you could bring to the role, and how you would contribute to further improving SBL Academy. If you'd like to apply, but maybe you don't see yourself in one of the main student principal or vice principal roles, maybe you'd like to apply to be a prefect, that's absolutely fine. Just include that in your letter of application, and I look forward to hearing from as many of you as possible in Year 10. Okay, that's everything from me today. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you, and I just want to finish by saying please look after yourselves, look after each other, and stay safe.